In the summer of 2021, Activision Blizzard employees had staged a peaceful walkout outside of its company offices in Irvine and in Santa Monica, California. What transpired this walkout was due to mismanagement and an unsafe work environment for women in the workplace, as well as harassment and treatment of male counterparts engaging in fraternity-style drinking events, or some refer to as cubicle crawls. What also in the summer of happened prior to this, in 2013, the company had a individual who was a creative director of World of Warcraft. He had engaged in such similar acts as engaging in lewd acts with employees at a local other convention called BlizzCon, where they would entice not just female employees but goers to come up to their hotel, where some male employees were deemed as the party environment as the Cosby Suite. Now, shortly after this convention was over with and the higher ups had found out what happened, this individual was terminated shortly after, quietly. Happened. Now, in my findings of this particular environment is that gender inequalities and sexism do play a role together in this type of environment. Unfortunately, it is a very heavily a male-dominated environment where women have very little to no hearsay when it comes to projects or anything whatsoever production-wise, just as if this was a particular, like a film, the same way. But unfortunately, that has to change. That's type of a dynamic. But even though the industry is quite new and the technology is always advancing every year, now, according to one video game journalist, had found out that a lot of these higher ups that work for these companies, a lot of them are not held for their crimes. A lot of them are passed from particular publisher or office from place to place without essentially being held for their crimes. Now, I have two positives in just recently, that two individuals who were female employees had recently got a settlement of $18 million for what they went through. According to one. Second part is that Activision Blizzard has hired a woman who is the first Chief Diversity and Equality Inclusion Officer. Her name is Kristen Hines. Now, essentially, her role will be looking at game design, storyline, character development, and gameplay, and community interaction. And now it does seem like, ever since the company has changed itself around twofold, literally, in my other findings, that they essentially had resigned their CEO after the company had signed a petition of over 2,000 signatures to fire him. And on top of that, Microsoft had acquired the company for quite a lump sum of money to turn the company around. Now, it does seem like the company is being turned around about in a positive light, and this may eventually also be a positive thing for other companies who do this similarly. I've also found out other companies similar to Activision, like Riot Games and Ubisoft, had similar events, but not to the magnitude of what happened last summer. but it does seem like overall that hopefully the company is turned around for the best and for the good for the future, especially for diversity wise for both women and men to work in the same environment. Thank you. Second part